Hello everyone, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I like to discuss one topic that I already recorded a video and a couple of podcasts about. It's the concept of assumptions and restrictions. So we need just to understand this. Restrictions are all factors that limit my options. For example, I have a restriction. I can only do work at night. I have another restriction. My budget is only up to $1 million. It means I don't have options on that. When I go to the assumptions, it's a little bit different because assumptions are facts that I am assuming that they are true, but I cannot control them completely. For example, tomorrow it will not rain, so I will not have problems developing my work tomorrow. Or maybe, that supplier will deliver the product or the service I'm expecting on that date. So I don't have control. So every single assumption becomes a risk. And one of our colleagues, he asked me this question. His name is Felipe. He asked me, where should I include the assumptions and the restrictions? Should I put them on the project charter or on the scope statement? And I want to give two answers to that. First one is one answer much more by the book, okay, in trying to explain these two documents. And the other one, it's more my life experience. So let's go to the first one. So you need to understand that the project charter is like a birth certificate of your project. Usually, it's a very simple document, and it's a document that recognizes that a project exists inside an organization or inside a government agency. And usually it has the name of the project manager, some ideas about the project. So usually it's a 1-2 page document, very simple and direct. So very high level. Then the scope statement, I want to present to you as something like that. It's like the feedback that the project manager and her or his team are providing back to this sponsoring group. So it's a much more detailed and explain how they plan to undertake the work to deliver the products of service of the project. So technically, you should include the assumptions and the restrictions on this document. Of course, the first thing you need to understand that the scope statement is not something written on stone. You need to understand that with this volatile environment, one thing that you need is to adapt and change things fast. So if you identify another assumption, you need to include this assumption. So it's a living document. Of course, the frame of this document will not change, otherwise you are changing the DNA of your project. But new information received can leverage your project, can make you aware of things that can change how you should proceed with your project. But then I want to ask you and reflect with you on the second topic. Is it really important? Does it really matter if you should put this in one document or another, or if you should use these specific names? And then I need to share with you my own experience. In many cases, I did a single document for the project charter and the scope statement. Was this a crime according to the rules? And let me be honest with you. What is a crime is not deliver the project. So you need to identify everything you need to do that will deliver the value you need. You don't, as a project manager, your role is not produce paper. So don't waste your time trying to say, by the book, we should do this or we should do that. Understand that you need to adapt the way you manage your project according to the maturity of organization, maturity of your team, kind of project. So maybe all of this can become a canvas, all these documents, or maybe all these documents must become a very complex document. It depends. This project management is not mathematics. There is no sharp and precise answer. So, Felipe, if I can advise you on where you should focus your attention, it's how I can identify the right assumptions and the right restrictions. Where you want to put them, honestly speaking, it doesn't matter too much. You know, if you know where they are, if your team knows where they are, if you want to create as an isolated document, if you want to integrate, please just do it. Just do it. You know, what really matters is the information and the value of everything you created for your team and your sponsoring group. This is what matters. So don't waste your time trying to figure out what the rule prescribes to us. Okay? Focus on the result of your project, and this is what really matters. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and see you next week with another 5 Minutes PM podcast.